Hey, I'm Colin Martin. It's time for another edition of Hump Day Highlight. We are excited to have one of our board of director members with us today, and just an all-around great guy, Will Garner. Will, welcome to Hump Day Highlight at the Fayette Chamber of Commerce.
Well, Colin, it's great to be here. Thank you so much.
So, Will, you are the executive director of Midwest Food Bank in Peachtree City. Tell us a little bit about what goes on over there at Midwest Food Bank.
Well, it's pretty simple. We gather up food and we give it away. The biggest question I always get is, why are you called Midwest Food Bank? Well, we started on a farm in Bloomington, Illinois 17 years ago. We opened up here in Peachtree City in 2011. And since that time, we've had incredible growth. We serve nonprofit food pantries, soup kitchens, churches, homeless shelters. Right now, we're serving just over 300 different organizations from 56 counties and 6 states. And it's just an incredible operation right here in Fayette County.
So let's expand on that just a little bit. People who are in need of food do not come to Midwest Food Bank. It's the organizations that serve those people that you serve. So you're serving the people, serving those who are without food. Is that accurate?
Correct. Yeah, we're the wholesaler in the operation. We provide it to the retailers, those food pantries and soup kitchens and organizations like that, who are out in their communities serving people in need.
Yeah, got it. And you guys are did just a tiny expansion out there in the last 6-8 months, I guess. Tell us what all you did out there.
We launched a campaign a year ago. We wanted to serve our community better, and better was not necessarily more food, but better food, more nutritious food. You know, at our homes and our pantries is good food, but the best food, the most nutritious food, the most expensive food at our homes is in the refrigerator and freezer. And for years, I've been here 7 years, and for years we have had to refuse truckloads of free, fresh and frozen food because we couldn't properly store it. So we launched a campaign last year to serve our community better. And we just completed construction of about a 4,000 square foot refrigerator freezer. We put food in it for the first time last week. And to give you an idea of the magnitude, the freezer will hold about 8 semi-loads of frozen food. The refrigerator is a little bit smaller. It'll only hold about 4 truckloads of food. And so that's the good stuff, the meats and cheeses and fresh fruits and vegetables. So now we'll be able to serve our community even better by providing more nutritious food.
Well, and I got to tour it last week. Those are two very impressive machines y'all put in out there to serve. And that freezer really is a freezer. It was freezing cold when we stepped in. So
-10.
Yeah, congratulations on that. So before you got to Midwest Food Bank, you were in Uncle Sam's service for a little while. Tell us about your military career.
Well, I love being a soldier. Not that I love crawling in the mud or being in foreign countries and being away from the family, but I love the people that I got to be around as a soldier. There's something special about men and women who voluntarily sign up to serve their country. And so I had a great 26-year career, and I just got to be around wonderful people who all had a sense of purpose to serve and defend the Constitution of the United States. And it's just very special being around those kind of people.
Yeah, I totally agree. And you were logistics, correct?
I was supply, maintenance, transportation, and duties as assigned. You know, wherever Uncle Sam sent us and whatever he told me to do, I was more than happy to do that.
Well, but the point is you had a little bit of experience on how to move food and things around before you got to Midwest Food Bank. So this was not a complete strange thing for you to do this at all.
No, as I look back now, God had been lining me up for this job for 30 years. I just didn't know it.
I understand completely. Speaking of which, over your left shoulder, there is a quote on the wall. What is that quote up there?
That's John 3:16. A pretty simple Bible verse that we all know. And for God so loved the world. And it's pretty simple. And the mission here at Midwest Food Bank, it's a pretty simple mission statement to share the love of Christ. Well, of course, that's what God did when he sent his son. And so John 3:16 on one shoulder, and the other religious symbol I have is on my other shoulder, and that's a Masters flag with the Jack Nicklaus autograph on it. So not to put the two in the same category, but those are certainly two of my passions right over my shoulders.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if heaven looks a lot like Amen Corners. So we're going to end now on what we do with everybody, the 3 H's, hero, a highlight, and what you're hopeful for. So we'll start with the hero. Will, who is your hero or somebody you particularly look up to?
You know, when you ask that question, I'm like, well, I don't know if I could pin my finger on a single person, but I certainly had a lot of respect for my father. He was old when I was born. He was born in 1913. And so he was a 17-year-old during the Depression. He was a World War II veteran. And he truly was a member of that greatest generation. He passed away right after I graduated college. So I never had an adult relationship with him, but he had those traits that I admire. He was very compassionate, very passionate. He would give you the shirt off his back, but in the same vein, he would pull out a gun and shoot you if he saw you abusing a child or kicking a dog. And so a lot of those traits that I've carried with me, I learned from him as a young boy watching. At that point, he was an old man. And so if I had to pick a single hero, it'd be the traits that I saw in my father.
Yeah, that's great. My dad was born in 1913 too, so believe me, I understand. What's a highlight from either your personal life or your professional life that you're particularly proud of?
Wow, more than a few. You know, I'm blessed, happily married for a long time. Got 2 wonderful sons. Both are very successful young men, college graduates, not asking me for money. You know, like I mentioned before, I love being a soldier. I'm proud of the fact that I was able to have a very successful career. I never imagined myself being a colonel in the Army. I'm as average a person as you can get, and so I'm really proud of that. But what I get to do now here at the food bank, I tell everybody I have the best job in the world. I get to give away food for free to help people. But more importantly, every day I'm surrounded by people who walk in the door to help. They just want to make the world a better place, whether it's the staff, the volunteers, the agencies we serve. So the world I live in right now it's just positive and upbeat because we get to serve people.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'll just say being a colonel in the United States military or an O6, because not everybody who's an O6 is a colonel, he captains in the Navy and the Coast Guard. That is no small accomplishment. That triangle gets very narrow once you get up into that area. So I think that's something to be really, really proud of. So we'll end on what you're hopeful about in the future. And I have a feeling I know what you're going to say, but just tell us what you're most hopeful about in the future.
You may not know what I'm about to say. Actually,
okay.
I've given it a little bit of thought. You know, I think all of us, we all just hope for a little bit more unity. Could we all just come together? We don't have to close the entire gap, but if we could all just come together a little bit more and to help make the world a little bit better. And so we've written it in the concrete when we had the previous expansion, Romans 12:12, be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, and faithful in prayer. So I just believe there's tremendous potential here at Midwest Food Bank. And within Fayette County, we can do so much more and so much good. We just need to have a little hope. And my hope is that we can bring folks together to make a difference.
Well, Will, y'all are doing that at Midwest Food Bank by having people come together to serve others. And we greatly appreciate what you're doing, what your staff, what your volunteers are doing. You are truly doing the Lord's work. So we're proud to support you at the Chamber. So anyway, folks, that wraps up this week's edition of Hump Day Highlight. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you next week for another edition. Have a great week.